Hello everyone, and welcome back to Video Lessons with Teacher Brynley. Before we start story time, let's remember what we learned last week by listening to the song Happy Family. Let's listen to it again, read, and sing along.
I love Mother, she loves me. We love Daddy, yes sorry. He loves us and so you see, we are happy family. I love sister, she loves me. We love brother, yes sorry. He loves us and so you see, we are happy family.
Let's review what we learned last week. Take a look at this family tree from last week's story time and try to remember who all the different family members are and where they belong on the family tree. First on the family tree was the little girl who was making her family tree. Second was Alan, her big brother. Do you remember he was helping her make their family tree? Next on the family tree were their parents, Mommy and Daddy. Then came the grandparents, Mommy's parents and Daddy's parents, the grandfathers and the grandmothers. Are you ready to play a memory game? Alright, now try to remember where all the family members are and who they are. Okay, so in first position, who is first? Can you remember who was first? First was Alan's little sister. And then who was second? Can you remember who was second on the family tree? It was her mommy, her daddy, or her brother. It was her big brother, Alan. And then who's next? Who was third? Is it their grandmother? Is it their father, their dad? Or is it their mom or mommy? Of course. So that means fourth will also be a parent. Probably, what do you think? Daddy, of course. Yeah, and then who will be fifth and sixth on the family tree? Probably Mommy's parents. And what do we call Mommy's parents? Can we remember? Grandma! And of course, sixth will be Grandpa. Of course, we can call them grandmother and grandfather, but she calls them Grandma and Grandpa. We all have different names for our grandparents. Can you remember who was seventh on the family tree? Daddy's mommy or Daddy's daddy? Daddy's daddy. We call him Papa. Right? Of course, you might call yours grandfather or granddad, but they call theirs Papa. And who's eighth? Of course, it will probably be grandmother, or as they call theirs, Nana. Let's remember all the people in our family. We have mom and dad, brother and sister, and of course we all have different families. Maybe we don't have a brother, we have 2 sisters. That's fine. Do you know one word for mom and dad? It's parents. One word for mom and dad is parents. Some of us call our moms mommy, mother, or even mama. Some of us call our dads daddy, father, or even papa. What do you call your parents? Do you know one word for grandmother and grandfather? One word for grandmother and grandfather is grandparents. Some of us call our grandmothers grandma, nana, or amma. Some of us call our grandfathers grandpa, papa, or uncle. What do you call your grandparents? I call my parents mom and dad. I called my mom's parents Nana and Granddad. So instead of grandmother and grandfather, I called my grandmother Nana and my grandfather Granddad. And then my dad's parents, I called my grandmother Oma, and my grandfather, I called him Opa. Let's go back to the story time and continue reading Me and My Family Tree. Let's go back to story time and continue reading Me and My Family Tree. Mommy has a sister, my Aunt Sally. She's married to my Uncle Lee. They have a daughter, my cousin Alice. They're all part of my family tree. Aunt, uncle, and cousin. Daddy has a brother, my Uncle Jim. He's married to my Aunt Margie. They have 2 sons, my cousin Jeff and my cousin David. They're hiding. Where are you? Daddy also has a sister. That's my Aunt Pat. They are all part of my family tree. Wow, so many family members. Her family is really big. We will learn more about aunts, uncles, and cousins next week. For now, I want you to get your family tree worksheet. Did you draw yourself and your brother or sister last week? I hope you did, because today we will trace and draw 3 more family members. Let's start with Mom. All right, first of all, of course, we have from last week, we have you or yourself. You have your sister or your brother. And then I want you to draw your mom. All right, and then I want you to draw your dad. And last but not least, you can draw your mom's dad, your grandfather. Don't forget that all families are different, and if you don't have these family members and you can't draw them, you don't have to. Leave it blank. Perhaps it would be better to print out a picture of them, cut it out and stick it in. Only do this if it's not too much trouble. You don't have to. And if you can't print out the worksheet, make your own worksheet. You can draw the tree, you can write your student number and class at the top, your name of course over here. Do everything as you see it. Try and copy my worksheet as best as possible. So I don't mind how you do it, as long as it looks like mine. Of course, I understand if you don't have a printer or you can't go outside right now. Keep safe and just draw your own worksheet. No problem. With your worksheet this week, remember, only trace and draw your mom, your dad, and your mom's dad, your grandfather. Don't draw and trace the others, because we will do that next week. Until next week, goodbye everyone!